Welcome, welcome, welcome to our very first live. I would like to formally welcome you to the 4th grade Freedom Fighters page. Welcome to our very first episode of the 5th grade Freedom Fighters. I am Dr. Geraldine Calhoun, the author of the 2 books, the 4th grade Freedom Fighters and the 5th grade Freedom Fighters. Today, we're diving into an incredible story filled with bravery, teamwork, and the drive to make a difference in our world. And guess what? You can follow along at home. So don't get discouraged because you can't type in the chat. Don't worry about that. So take a moment, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's kick off our journey by meeting the 5th grade Freedom Fighters today. Our journey, it's a beautiful one. It's the first one. So our story begins in the vibrant community center. You all know what a community center is, right? It's in the community. It's kind of like a rec center. Kids go there, adults go there, play games, they learn activities, arts and crafts, modern day YMCA. Now I want you to go on this little imaginary journey with me. Close your eyes. Imagine the warm, buttery scent of freshly baked cookies drifting through the air, blending with the cheerful hum of kids laughing, painting, and exploring. I bet that kind of made you feel like you want to have a cookie right about now, right? But did you feel it? Did you see it? Did you smell it? Did you hear it? That's us using all 5 of our senses. It's in this energetic, welcoming space that we meet Benjamin and Ruby, 2 best friends whose imagination and determination make them unstoppable dreamers. Now, if you have a best friend, raise your hand. I see you. It's a virtual see when I say I see you. Now, if you want a best friend, raise your hand. If you are a best friend, raise your hand. See? Yep. So let's learn a little bit about who Benjamin and Ruby are through a short little introduction to kind of get you to think and kind of relate and connect to the characters as we continue this YouTube journey. So first up, now remember, I'm introducing them. Pretend we're at the award show. Cheer. If you're home, you should be clapping. Now, if you're in the car with your parents, don't do that. But do it silently, like you know how we do it in the classroom. Yes. You could do one of those, okay? Or you can even give an air clap. So first up, he's the mastermind of imagination and a creative force who can turn any challenge into opportunity. Do you know who we're talking about right now? Now, if you have the book, you might have a little bit of a head start on this one. His humor and quick thinking are unmatchable, but his biggest battle, yet that doesn't stop him from dreaming big and paving his own path. Give it up for the ever inventive Benjamin! Yay! So as you can see on the screen, you see Benjamin there. And he's one of our proud characters. He's the very first character in our book, in the 4th grade Freedom Fighters. And not to mention, this whole series started with Benjamin. And throughout our journey, you're going to learn what is so special about Benjamin's superpower. So now we got some more people that I want to introduce you to, some new characters, some other characters. So next we have a problem solver like no other, a young leader whose determination and intelligence shine through every obstacle. Do you know who it is yet? I can almost hear all the girls cheering right about now because they are super excited about this character. She never backs down, never gives up, and is always ready to help a friend in need. Whether it's cracking a tough puzzle or standing up for what's right, she's the one you want by your side. Put your hands together. Illuminate the room with sound for the unstoppable, unbeatable Ruby! Yes, we are super excited for Ruby. She is the second character in our first book, The Fourth Grade Freedom Fighters. She helped Benjamin get through some tough times in that story. And so if you haven't gotten the book yet, you might want to definitely get the book instead of waiting for our journeys. You can get ahead of the game to learn about their superpowers and also how their friendship formulated and how Ruby was that rock for Benjamin. And finally, the third character, he's the quiet genius, the brilliant thinker who sees patterns where others see chaos. With a mind sharper than any riddle, he has an incredible ability to analyze and solve problems with precision. Now that's a good word there, precision, like sharp, right at it. Sometimes he feels like he doesn't quite fit in. I'm sure some of you probably felt that way. But that's what makes him extraordinary. Please welcome the newest character to our series, the analytical and insightful Joshua. Now, you're going to see Joshua later on, but I did want to introduce him with our dear friends Benjamin and Ruby. I don't want to get ahead of the game because I want you to kind of see how he kind of joins the crew. You know how when you first start out, it's just you and your bestie, and then you decide to add somebody else to the crew? Well, that's who Joshua is in this moment, okay? So now here is a time for you. I've talked about a little bit about Ruby. I've talked a little bit about Benjamin. I didn't really talk a lot about myself as the author. And I really wanted to save it because I really want this moment to be all about Benjamin, but I think I have to say something. So I am Dr. Geraldine Calhoun. I am an educator, I am an author, and I am a speaker. And so this whole storyline came about with me just writing stories for my students. And they were the ones who encouraged me to put these stories out there to share with the world. Not only to just share with the world, but so that other kids can read stories that they can identify with the characters. And so for Benjamin, he is a symbol of every single child that I have ever had the privilege of teaching or influencing. Ruby is also a representation of every single child that I have ever had the delight to be a part of their educational journey. Now, enough about me, because I don't really want to steal the shine from Benjamin and Ruby. I really want this to be about them. And you. I want this to be about all of you. So since that's the reason, I want to give you some time to do a self-reflection. Now, this can be the time where you can think, run to the bathroom, get that snack that you probably had sitting in the refrigerator, the ice cream, or run to the microwave to get the cookie that you kind of had heating up or warming up. This is that time for you to run into that room, get your journal, and I want you to think about this question. I want you to think about who are the freedom fighters to you? And I also want you to think about, which character do you relate to the most? Is it Benjamin, our puzzle master? He's the genius behind it all. He's inventive. He's a quick thinker. He loves to crack jokes. Or are you more like Ruby? Now remember, just because Ruby is a girl, that does not mean that her personality or her character traits are female. And just because Benjamin is a boy does not mean that his character traits are male. So I want you to think about their character traits, okay? So are you more like Benjamin? Are you more like Ruby? Or Ruby, who's that friend in need whenever someone is in need? The friend indeed whenever you're in need. Are you Ruby? Do you exemplify some of Ruby's character traits? Are you that helper? Are you the person who can crack all types of tough puzzles or situations or problems? You are the answer to someone's problem in your classroom, especially when they come across that tough math problem, or when they're reading a really cool book and they get stuck on one word. Are you their Ruby? Or are you their Joshua? Joshua is the quiet genius. He's not super loud with it. He's very brilliant. He's a deep thinker. He's that kid that's sitting in the corner. You're probably thinking, what is he doing? And he's really thinking. Are you Joshua? So I'm going to give you some time to really think about which character you most identify with. I know you've had a lot of thinking time, and I'm sure you have already identified yourself with one of those characters. And maybe you've never been a Joshua, but you want to be a Joshua. Maybe you've never been a Ruby, but you want to be a Ruby. And maybe you've never been a Benjamin, but you want to be a Benjamin. It's never too late to adopt the character traits to become whoever you need to be the best student, the best friend, the best sibling you can. So now I want to dive in just a little bit deeper and talk a little bit about the mystery behind this door. Our story kicks off when Benjamin and Ruby discovers a mysterious door in the back of the community center. It says, Authorized Personnel Only. But who could resist finding out what's behind it? Think about a time where you had to try to resist a mystery. How did it turn out for you? Think about it. Now I want to share a brief read-aloud part of this. I want you to really think about what would you do if you found a door like this? Would you open it? Or would you run and tell the teacher? Or would you tell your friends? Like, what would you do? So keep that in your mind. And also remember, you have your notebook. So jot it down in your notebook. What would you do if you found a mysterious door? Look at this, Benjamin, Ruby called out. There's a puzzle under the sign. A puzzle? Benjamin said, intrigued. Let me take a closer look. Ruby noticed an open entrance hidden in the wall. Above it, a sign reading, Authorized Personnel Only. But what caught their eyes was the puzzle underneath. Letters and numbers blending together in a design that hinted at a secret waiting to be revealed. Think about that. A secret waiting to be revealed. Now, if you're like any of my students, I know how they are when it comes to a secret. It's like it's burning in the inside. They can't wait to share it, or they can't wait to reveal it, or they can't wait to discover what's behind the door or what's behind the mystery. Are you anything like that? Think about it. Think about Benjamin in this scenario. And Ruby, she's our problem solver. Benjamin is our puzzle creator, puzzle figure out it. He's that guy. So are you more like Benjamin in this moment? Or are you more like Ruby in this moment? Think about it. So I want you to take a moment to imagine what's behind that door. If you have a journal, write down your guesses or tell someone in your family. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am almost sure that you've pretty much started your drawing or even your writing piece. The music is great, isn't it? It's very peaceful, and I wish I could just play it for a longer period of time for you. But guess what? You can always go back and replay it live and listen to the music on your own. Guys, this has been such a journey. You all have made this very first live an amazing opportunity to spend time with you on a Sunday, the day before we all head back to the classroom. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining me on this first journey with the 5th grade Freedom Fighters. Today was all about meeting our heroes. and discovering that intriguing door, which we still haven't found out what's behind it yet. But next time, we'll unlock the door's secret. So you don't want to miss that one. Be on the lookout for the next date for our next live. And remember, every great story begins with a spark of curiosity. Never stop asking questions. If you want to keep exploring, talking about the story with a parent, a teacher, or a friend. I'll see you in our next video. Until then, stay curious, freedom fighters.
Shining bright, books in hand, they light the night. 4th grade, get loud. 5th grade, stand proud. Freedom fighters, show your might. Get loud, get loud. Freedom fighters, shining bright. Books in hand, they light the night. 4th grade, get loud. 5th grade, stand proud. Freedom fighters, show your might. Get loud, get loud.